Hello everybody and welcome to my not so monthly update for October 2019. As a lot of you know, long-time viewers, you will know that I used to do a monthly update every month, updating you on what's happening behind the scenes in the workshop and things that I've done outside of videos to keep you guys in the loop. And I have been absolutely rubbish at them this year. Last year I was on it. Every single month there was something new, something cool to update you on, and I also did a segment called Hater of the Month, which was amazing. This year, I've just been rubbish with it. I think I've just gotten out of the rhythm of it and then I just struggled to jump back on it. I'm trying again to make this a thing. I'm going to try and make these monthly updates happen every month as they should, as the name implies. We're going to start off slow this month, so unfortunately there is no Hater of the Month, although there was quite a good one on Facebook earlier this week, I must admit. Thank you to those of you who jumped in and supported me with that, by the way. You will know who you are. But anyway, first and foremost, I've had a haircut. Cold ears this time of year, very cold ears. I like having long hair this time of year, but there we go. Finally had my haircut. Oh, so many of you were giving me stick for how scraggly it was looking. To be honest, I completely agree with you. My hair was disgusting. The reason I kept it growing rather than getting it cut sooner was because I wanted to keep the continuity going when I was doing this dovetail box project. I didn't want to get 15 episodes in and then all of a sudden have short hair, because then people who watch this in the future will be like, what's going on here? In my mind, that project would have only taken about a month to complete, but it ended up taking like 2.5. It has taken ages to get that thing done. And yeah, as a result, my stubbornness caused my hair to look absolutely disgusting. But here we are, fresh haircut. I feel so lightweight and agile right now. It's amazing. So obviously, as I've just said, the dovetail box is now complete. I would have it here in front of me, but I haven't actually put out the overview video showing the entire build from start to finish with the finished product at the end, and I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise for you, even though you're probably quite aware of what the box actually looks like by now. But there will be an overview video coming out in the next few days. That will involve me having long hair again, because if I wanted to keep the continuity going, I would have released that before this video once I've got a haircut. But yeah, I really overthink these things. I think this is the sole reason why my hair's horrible all the time, but oh well. That box project is now complete, and if you're not really aware of what that is or what the point of it is, then it is actually one of the, well, it's the first project in my free online woodworking school. There'll be a link to it in the description below. Basically, you've got a project, but then before that, we've got all these different topics to cover, like the basics of woodworking when it comes to sharpening and tool setup, and then we've got things like buying tools, we've got preparing timber, and a bunch of other things as well. So if you haven't already, please have a look at that. I'm aiming to get that website absolutely crammed with information, so wherever this channel happens to go in the next few years, then there will always be this resource that new viewers and previous viewers, or viewers now, whatever, you can always go back to it and learn woodworking from scratch. In addition to that, in the past week, I also put out a review of the Bosch GMF 1600 half-inch router, which is an amazing tool, incredibly versatile, a little bit pricey, but that initial investment will save you so much in the long run. The rest of the video will explain. I've also got another review coming out on the Bosch 12-volt cordless router in the next couple of days as well. That's going to be another one where I've got long hair as well. Continuity is just gone at the moment, isn't it? But yeah, a review for that will be coming out in the next few days or so, and both of these review videos are in preparation for another series that I'm going to be filming in the next few months, which is how to use a router. And this isn't going to be just one dedicated video. This is going to be an entire series of different routing operations you can do and how to do each of them. So if you want to learn how to do something specific, there will be a specific video for you, which is also beneficial when it comes to revising something or reminding yourself later on a certain process. It's not like you've got to dig through an hour-long video covering every routing process. You can just instead find this particular video and have a look at that. And it's a good resource to keep coming back to, and that will also be added to the online woodworking school as well. But it's shaping up to be a very big series. I'm actually trying to somewhat script and plan this one rather than just attack it and completely wing every single video, which to be honest I tend to do. But I want to try and make these ones more clear and concise, because you know, learning how to use a router is quite an important thing, not only when it comes to being able to carry out a variety of woodworking operations, but also just for safety. Unusually, I've seen quite a few accidents from a router in the past couple of months, and it's a lot more than I've previously seen, like ever. Everyone just seems to be mangling themselves on routers at the moment. So I want to fix that. I want to fix it. And on the subject of Bosch, I have actually just got back from a trip to their headquarters. Well, yeah, it's not really their headquarters because Bosch is like a huge company. I just went to their power tool headquarters in Stuttgart in Germany, and like, I mean, it was like the size of a university campus in itself. It was blimmin' huge. It made me realise how big of a company Bosch actually is going to this place, because it's like, yeah, this is our power tool division. We've got all these other things as well. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I went there to have a look around their training centre and also try out some of the tools that they've got in production and some of the tools that they're planning for the next few years. And also they wanted to gather my thoughts on some of the tools that I've been using and some of the things that are currently being prototyped at the moment. And, you know, it was an incredible experience. I'm hesitant to say overwhelming, but it was quite overwhelming, but in a good way, because I actually met the people, or should I say the brains, behind these tools that are manufactured to go out worldwide. These are the people that are responsible for developing the tools that I use on a daily basis. And it was sort of like, whoa, hello. Like, the sense of imposter syndrome was unbelievable going to this place, but it was a really valuable experience, and I hope that some of the input that I gave them was of benefit. And, you know, I'm going to put this on record now. The direction that Bosch are heading with some of their tools is just incredible. What I'm beginning to notice with Bosch, like after this trip, and also in the few years that I worked at Axminster as well, is that they're not about just adding more and more Newton meters of torque and like trying to make a tool as powerful as possible, because ultimately that starts destroying the battery if you do that. And like, anyway, that's a whole other thing. But they seem to be going in a direction that's, you know, let's not focus too much on power, because it gets to a point where, like, do you actually need that extra Newton meter of torque, or can you just make the tool work a little bit smarter? And this is where they seem to be putting most of their attention. They're still making their tools more powerful in the process. And in fact, there's one tool I saw out there which was just crazy. But anyway, I don't think I can talk about that one yet. But it all seems to be in a way that's, let's make these work smarter rather than harder. And that's going to take a while, I think, for people to adopt, because a lot of these new features are, you know, they are going to seem gimmicky to a lot of people. And I do think people are perfectly justified in saying, well, you know, I've used a drill without all of these features for 20 years. Why do I need it now? And that's completely fair enough. But if you take time to adopt these new technologies and actually try them out, then it is going to make everything you do so much easier. It's, you know, it's the same argument when it comes to things like artificial intelligence and all that. There are some people who would rather get up off their sofa and walk out the door and drive to the shop in order to buy their shampoo. And there are some people who would rather just pull out their phone and say, Alexa, order me shampoo, and then that's it. In both instances, you will end up with shampoo. There seems to be very much of a hair theme going on in this episode, doesn't there? I think I've got something on my mind. Lost where I was going with that now. Either way, those two subjects will still end up with shampoo, but one of them spent significantly more effort doing so, and one of them did it from the safety of his couch. Now, I'm not saying that Bosch are introducing artificial intelligence into their tools, but they are integrating smart technology into them, which is going to make a hell of a difference to the new generation of craftsmen that learn to adopt those technologies. It was a mind-blowing experience going to this place. Yeah, absolutely loved it. Highlight for me, cordless plunge saw. Bosch have released a cordless plunge saw, or they're going to be releasing a cordless plunge saw in the next few months. And yeah, it has got a lot of power behind it, and I cannot wait to get one of them. Now, moving on to things that are due to happen in the next few weeks or months on the channel, I've already disclosed that I'm going to be doing a routing series with like multiple different videos focused on individual topics. In addition to that, I'm also going to be refilming a lot of my older tutorials, because looking back on some of these videos, they are just horribly filmed. They still do the job, you know, there's still people learning from them, there's still people liking the videos, there's still people commenting, but I can't help but look at them and think, ugh, the white balance on that camera is off. And there was actually one video where I obviously started filming the video in the morning, and then halfway through the video I decided to have lunch, and then I decided to leave my disgusting pasta pot on the front of the workbench in perfect view of the camera. I think it's like a sharpening video or something like that. So here I was just sharpening my tools, and there was just this minging pasta pot there that I just left, and it's horrible. I do very much miss those days of like slapdash filming, and like if there's a dirty pasta pot left in it, then so be it. I mean, like I say, I probably didn't even notice that it was in there when I was filming and editing it, but there we go. That was a simpler time back then. So yeah, you'll be seeing those tutorials start trickling through in the next few months or so. And in addition to that, I have got a secret project that has been going on God, I can't even remember when I released the original video. It was a Turning Tuesday way back earlier on in the year. I was actually on the metal lathe when I was doing it, and I finally started making the first batch of this secret project. They're actually surrounding me right now, just out a camera shot. Those of you who watch my live streams and are patrons of $10 or above, you will know what this project is. And in fact, those patrons, I have been looking at the requests you have put in, and there will be more information regarding it soon. So if you haven't got notifications turned on Patreon, please do so now. You don't want to miss it. So I'm hoping to get this first batch released sometime towards mid to the end of November. I think it's going to take a while. Well, firstly, to actually complete them, but secondly, to get the pictures and the advertisements and the shipping and all that kind of rubbish sorted as well. We're not quite there yet, but considering this has been like a 8 to 10 month project, and in fact, it's something that I've been using for years before that, it's really nice to know that I'm this close to being able to sell the first batch. Not long now. Another thing that I'm going to be releasing in the next week or so is a little bit different to what I normally release, and it's a Christmas gift guide for woodworkers, because we all know what it's like. You know, I really struggle with this time of year. Buying presents for people is not my forte. I'm absolutely rubbish at it. I'm just going to put that out there. But you know, if I'm buying something for someone, I will type into Google Christmas gift ideas for girls, and then it opens up this web page of all these just tacky presents that just no one wants, and I don't see the point in even posting this list. I have never ever got a good idea from one of those lists. And then I'll do the same, like Christmas gift ideas for dad, and it's like 6-pack of beer. Great, I haven't already thought of that one. No, I'm just thinking of ideas off the top of my head. Why don't I just actually Google it? Personalised photo flip-flops. Oh yeah, dad definitely wants that. My dad wants a personalised Marmite jar. My dad wants a magnetic wristband. Oh, that's useful, isn't it? So when you're putting in screws, instead of holding them in your hand, you just stick them to your wrist. Genius. Actually, to be fair, that actually does seem quite useful. But you know what I mean? These lists are just absolutely terrible. And I don't know if you've ever tried this before, but if you Google Christmas gift ideas for woodworkers, have a look at some of the things on there. It's not really that good, to be honest. I've never really found anything on them that kind of screams, oh, I definitely want that for Christmas. You know, we're talking things like glue applicator sets. We're talking things like abrasive belt cleaners. Like, they're just so bad, these lists. And I sought to fix it, because what I don't want is for your significant other to type these things into Google and then buy you one of these Christmas gifts. You know, you might want a glue applicator set, you might want an abrasive cleaner, but I am just simply trying to fill this gap on Google, which seems to be there for the taking, recommending things to a range of budgets. I'm not talking things that are super expensive, although it's quite nice when you get someone else to buy those things for you, but it's things that will suit a range of budgets, and they are tools that will actually they're tools that you will actually use, and they're tools that you will actually treasure. And everything on there I have used or had experience with a tool that is very similar and is something that I find indispensable in my workshop. So then obviously you can send this article to your significant other or your friends or family or whoever happens to be buying presents for you, and then they can pick things from that list to buy you. But please be safe in the knowledge that although I am very much a tool snob, I like to buy like the most expensive thing that I can possibly afford. The list is not just catered for people who have the same budget as me. It's suited to anyone and everyone, regardless of budget, but solely for people who want to make their woodworking better, and there'll be something on that list for you. So I'll actually pop a link to it in the description below if you want an early look at it, and I'll also be sharing the link every now and then on Facebook running up to Christmas, and share it on a few of my other social media platforms as well. So be sure to keep an eye out on those platforms should you ever need to resend the link to the person buying you presents this Christmas. And I will say that the majority of the links in this article are affiliate links. There is a affiliate disclaimer linked below and also at the top of the article as well. So should you ever think that I'm just trying to con you out of all your money and trying to get as much commission as possible, it's not the case. These are tools that I've actually used, and they're tools that I actually like, and I thought it might be beneficial to you guys as well. What I will also add on that is I am trying to secure a little bit of extra income at the moment, which is why I'm trying to get this batch of this secret project complete, because I'm looking to buy a new camera soon. The one that I'm using at the moment is amazing. It's a Canon 5D Mark IV for those of you who are camera nerds out there. Great for pictures, great for video, but when you shoot in 4K, the file sizes are just astronomically huge. Astronomically? will go astronomical. Either way, file sizes are absolutely massive. So whenever I want to film a project in 4K, it just can't be done because it just wreaks havoc on my computer and it just fills up my hard drive. And I'm looking to replace this camera with a brand new one that will be able to shoot all these videos in 4K with better quality lenses, so it should be a lot crisper, a lot clearer, and help me film some of the close-up shots from a variety of angles and just bring the video quality up a notch. The camera is not cheap. It's the Panasonic S1H, for those of you interested. It's a new release. It looks absolutely mental, and yeah, it's just a bit costly, So, you know, I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I am looking to secure a little bit of extra income at the moment, but at the same time, I think you will find that list very useful. So yeah, full details of that are listed below. Now, I've got 2 more things to cover before signing off, finally. Really struggling to get my words out today. I feel like I'm rambling quite a lot in this video, but oh well. In terms of projects that are coming out in the next few weeks or months, these are on top of the tutorials, I may add. So, you know, on top of the routing series and on top of the other bits that I've said about, can't remember what I've said about now, been rambling too much. The projects that we're going to be focusing on, we're going to be doing the second project of the online woodworking school, which is a arts and crafts style cabinet, including a traditionally fitted frame and panel door. It also has a traditionally constructed and fitted drawer and a dovetail carcass, and like everything is done by hand, much as you would expect, and take the difficulty up a notch. And in doing so, you'll learn a ton of invaluable skills such as, you know, fitting a door, hinging a door, fitting a drawer. We're going to be focusing a little bit on edge jointing once again, and I'll show you a few different techniques when it comes to that I didn't disclose in the box project, and it'll be a really good one to learn a few more skills from. So that will be project number 2 for the free online woodworking school. And then the other project that we're going to be starting in the next few months, which is not going to be part of the online school, but is actually going to be something for the workshop. It's going to be a drill bit cabinet. So those of you who watched a live stream that we did a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago or so, me and Rob were planning this drill bit cabinet that basically, when you open it, the drill bits tilt forward, and you know, it's got LED lights and all these cool mechanisms in it, and we were completely overthinking it. Then a week later, we had a long-term viewer, Tim Scott, come into the workshop. He paid us a little visit and also bought a few goodies that would help us make that project come to life in a much simpler fashion, much simpler than what me and Rob were trying to do. Now, because I've got so much going on at the moment with the online school and with this batch of things, and then like the visits to Germany and also some of the Axminster events I've been doing this year. Christ, I didn't even mention that, did I? On that note, thank you very much to those of you who visited all of my events at the Axminster stores this year. It was great hanging out with you. I hope my tutorials were entertaining / informative. God, I'm really losing my voice now. What's going on? Need to put more practice into these monthly updates. Really struggling now. But yeah, the past few weeks, months have been disgustingly busy. It seems to be this time of year, to be honest. I remember this time last year, it was probably even worse. It was when I was making that power tool workbench. And yeah, it's pretty flat out at the moment, which is why, like, this drill bit cabinet, it's not going to be something that's going to be started in the next few weeks. It's probably going to be something that I guess will happen sometime after Christmas, because I haven't even properly managed to sit down and design the thing yet because I've got all these other things going on. But yeah, that'll be a really cool project when we actually get stuck into it. It will be another one which is less tuition and more documenting what we're doing, show all the screw ups, and it'll be a very similar format to the router bit cabinet series, which was filmed earlier this year. Basically, in a nutshell, it's woodworking mixed with just messing around in the workshop, for lack of a better word. But yeah, that will be coming out in the next few months. I am going to end the video there before I become a complete mute. If you haven't already, please visit the free online woodworking school in the description below. And if you want the latest updates on this secret project I'm currently working on, then please consider supporting me on Patreon, and you will get first dibs when that product goes live. I will see you in the next one.